Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready?
Hey, let me tell you something. You're listening to Roundtable Sports Talk, bringing you the latest, hottest, and up-to-date sports news across the world. With your hosts, Austin and Brett.
I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up, everyone? This is your host, Brett. Austin ain't here right now. We recorded a show last night, but due to technical difficulties, we're going to postpone that show. We're going to do the show another day, just to give y'all some content. That way we're staying every show every week. I'm going to go ahead and hit the NBA for y'all. Yesterday, Cavs signed D Rose, 1 year, 2.1, the veterans minimum. Not sure what Cleveland wants for D Rose. He did come off his high-scoring career. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're thinking. He'd be a good backup point guard, but as a starting, it ain't gonna really hold for Cleveland that much. Obviously, last couple of days, big news was Kyrie wanting out of Cleveland. He doesn't want to play with LeBron. Just like any other dominant point guard, he wants to be the man, and it's been proven not one guy can carry a team. Not one guy can carry a team. So there's been talks. I know he's been wanting to go to the Spurs. There's been talks about him going to the Lakers, Timberwolves. If he went to the Spurs, I don't think he wouldn't start. There's too much other important players on the Spurs. He wouldn't start over Kawhi. He wouldn't start over Tony Parker. Definitely wouldn't start coming off the bench over Manu, as Manu just signed for his 16th season. So I'm not sure why he wants to go to the Spurs. He ain't gonna be the guy. Timberwolves is a different story. I mean, he could play next to Jimmy Butler. Well, they just picked up Jeff Teague, so I mean, I could see him starting over Jeff Teague, but I don't think Jeff Teague wants to come off the bench. I think he wants to start. I don't know what Kyrie's thinking. Playing next to LeBron, it's going to get you championship bound, and it's going to get you some rings. So I'm not sure why he wants to be the man. I mean, it's good business-wise, but like I said, not one guy can carry a team to the finals and win. Moving on. Speaking on Spurs, Pau Gasol re-signs for the Spurs for 3 years and $48 million. That's kind of a big contract for a bench role player. He is 38, so he's getting up there in age, so good for Pau. Moving on, John Wall signs his 4-year extension with the Wizards, $170 million. His deal will begin in 2019. He has a 4th-year player option, and he has a 15% trade kicker, so that's a good sign. I didn't really see him leaving or not signing that extension. The Wizards are a really strong team in the East. They have a nice core. They can move the ball. They can shoot three. So that could be a contender. Looks like Cleveland's on its way downhill. I do not see them moving into the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they'll have a hard time against Boston. Toronto has its core back, so Toronto's going to be a hard team. So I don't think I would like to see another repeat, but you know how that goes. Repeats are very boring. Even being a Warriors fan, it's kind of tough to watch the same two teams battle out in the finals. So I don't know. On other news in the NBA, the Trailblazers looking to recruit Carmelo. That would be a dominant team in the West if Carmelo went to the Trailblazers. He would play next to Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. I saw that Damian Lillard posted on either Twitter or Instagram. He said if Carmelo joined the Trailblazers, that the Warriors need to watch out. That would be a strong 3 team to beat. They also have other players as role players, but I don't know. That would be a tough team to beat. Carmelo is not in his prime anymore, so I don't see that being a threat if he did move. Honestly, Carmelo is just going to stay in New York. There's been talks about him going to Houston. They were trying to finalize a 3-team deal. that news went away and he didn't say nothing about it, and there was no other reports. So what's going to end up happening is Carmelo is going to stay with the Knicks for another year. Other news, Paul Pierce signed a one-day contract to retire as a Celtic, which he deserves. Good for him. He deserves to retire as a Celtic. Back on the Cavs, LeBron waiving his no-trade clause, or not waiving his no-trade clause. He'll stick it out for another year. There's been talks he'd be really hyped to play next to Melo. But in order to see that, I would think LeBron would have to move to New York and play with Melo in New York, because I don't really see them moving to LA. I know there's been talks about LeBron wanting to play for LA. I don't like that move. That's Lakers are a horrendous team. Maybe with Lonzo coming in, it might be a different story, but they would have to put up some major money to get LeBron and Melo. They would have to pay that luxury tax. We're gonna stick with the NBA right now. We're gonna do another show hopefully this week. We'll touch on the NFL. The NFL training camps just started up this week. That's really exciting. NBA is coming on hot. There's other news in the NFL, but we'll wait. We'll probably do another show this week. Hopefully we can get it out to you guys this week. There's been talk. We've been talking about the Jags have a scrimmage next Friday. Hopefully we can get out there, get some tickets, and hopefully get you guys a live podcast. Jags fans are really hyped. I know there's been talks about them going Super Bowl bound. So hopefully we can get out there, get you guys a live podcast. Get you guys in the atmosphere. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you follow us. We're going to keep posting updates on that. Like I said, we'll hopefully get you guys another show this week. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but, stuff happens. So make sure you guys follow us on SoundCloud. We're going to get the show out to you today, 12 p.m. So we'll see you guys hopefully early in the week. Thank you.
Good evening. That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Wait a minute. Oh, my.
That's this week's episode of Roundtable Sports Talk podcast with your hosts, Austin and Brett. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Roundtable Sports Talk. Thank you for listening.